I would, oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here with us. First of all, I'm so excited to talk to you. I know I've seen your products like all over the place. So thank you, first of all.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Um, I love when I get to talk to women founders because I feel like women, especially, just bring something so special to the entrepreneur space.
Absolutely.
So when you started Mizzi, like what I would love to know that magic moment when you're like, I have this is my spot, or I'm planting my flag, and this is what my flag is gonna say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so weird because we're celebrating our 10th year this year. So
No
I
way.
can't believe that 10 years has gone by. And where we started is not where I thought we would end up being 10 years later. And I think that kind of goes for a lot of entrepreneurs. You start in one space and then things start to evolve as, you go down that journey as like such a small business of being one person and then growing into everything else. But really, this started out of necessity for my children. My son. So a little bit of background about me. I've been in the pharmaceutical industry for over 17 years. That is my background is chemistry and a little in business. So basically business and chemistry kind of put together. But then I started to work for pharma and with like cancer meds and all sorts of stuff. And it was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. Then I had my children and I just did not want to travel anymore. And I became a stay at home mom for almost 8 years. Within that time, I had two kids, Liana and Brady. Liana is 15 now, which is crazy, and Brady is 13. But when Brady was 6 months old, he had some issues with his heart that we were, unaware of that when we went to an appointment for, they go for the vaccines like every 2, 3, 4 months, and they heard a murmur, and it ended up being something outrageous. Um, he was one in a million to have this heart defect. And on top of that defect, he had another defect because of the other defect. And I'm like, what is going on? So there's nothing worse than hearing that as a mother. So we went through a lot at that time. And when you said, what is that pivotal moment? I don't know if this was the pivotal moment to actually go into business, but it was a pivotal moment for me to change something that was happening within our family. And really, it was very simple. We were in the hospital. My son had tubes kind of everywhere, and the nurses were putting petroleum jelly on his lips. Very common, right? Like, Vaseline and Aquaphor are on the shelves everywhere. It's a trusted brand. And I'm not saying petroleum is bad, but when it's on your lips, I just asked, can he digest that? Because I'm a breastfeeding mom. So can I have him eat? Like, is that okay with that on there? And they were like, we don't really know. And for whatever reason, because I had nothing else to think about except my son and what was going on, I was like, God, everything that I put on my lips that's over the counter has petroleum in it. Everything from, chapstick, whatever everybody knows that's over the counter has a mineral oil or petroleum in it. And so I just started to do some research and found out that over a woman's lifetime, not just men, but women mainly, because we tend to put more things on our lips like lipstick and whatnot. You will swallow 10 pounds of petroleum in your lifetime, and petroleum does not metabolize in your body.
No.
So the petroleum will stay within your nasal passage, your esophagus, your throat. It can go into your lungs and into your stomach.
That cannot be good for us.
It's not. No, and studies have shown that it can cause long-term effects, cancer, different, lung issues, different issues within the ear, nose, and throat. And I was like, oh my God, like something so simple that no one even cares to think about, right? No one cares to think about that. So that's when the fire kind of lit in me. Like, I need to make something for my family. And I was home, so I had the opportunity to do so. I called my pharmaceutical friends and I asked, what can I use that's vegan, that is like a petroleum alternative? And I started cooking right in my home.
I love it.
And, I love that it was born that way, because it's like all the women that I know that have started some sort of a business, they're so creative. They're either solving a problem and they're creating a solution, and they're passionate about it, and there's a story. It's not just like, hey, I created this and I want to sell it because I think it's cool.
Yes.
There's a lot of drive and dream and passion behind it.
There's
And
so
I
much
love that.
fire.
I love that. And especially Briana, like you said, in the beauty industry, these women are trying to solve a problem. People care about the ingredients that are going on their lips, their skin, their face, their hair. And everybody's turning over that bottle now to look at the ingredients, because it's so important. So it's not a trend anymore. It's like it's a shift. It's like a seismic shift in the way we think,
You're so right.
for this generation. So that's how that kind of got started. I started, making it in my home, ended up going in the Oscar swag bags. That's a whole nother story.
What?
But that kind of, yeah.
We'll get back to that.
Well,
Yes.
we'll get back to that. But
Yeah.
that really
Wow.
kickstarted everything. And, I decided to start selling it, locally, and then locally turned out to be regionally, and then throughout the United States and Canada. And then it just became huge. We got a lot of organic endorsements. One really big one was Kylie Jenner.
Yes.
And that was pivotal. That was huge.
Yeah.
So,
That's huge.
shout out to her still to this day, because she really changed, Mizzi Cosmetics back in 2015 when she did that. So,
Oh, dang. I mean,
yeah.
okay. How did Kylie Jenner get her hands on it?
Girl, I was just trying to wear my heart on my sleeve, and I was just looking some stuff up online, and I found some different areas, on the interwebs, as everybody starts to call it. And I'm interwebbing, I'm looking everywhere, and I found out who her publicist was, who happened to be her manager, and is no longer the manager, but is her cousin. And I found her email, and I just wrote her like a heartfelt email from one woman to the next. Never thought she would read it. And 6 weeks later, I get an email from this woman, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm looking at my email and I'm like stunned. I didn't even want to open the email because I couldn't believe I got an email back.
Yes.
And I open it up, and I still have her email. I save it to this day. And she said, Brenda, she said, thank you so much for writing in. I get thousands of emails every single day, and everything goes in the trash because everybody's asking for something. And for some reason, your story, just kind of hit me. And I reread your letter 3 times. And she's like, I don't know, something about you. I went on your website. I saw the story with your son. I saw you. She's like, I feel a connection. I need you to put a box together for every single K girl. So not just Kylie, but Chris, Chloe, Courtney, Kim, everybody, Kendall. So I did. And she's like, I will deliver it to them personally. And whatever happens after that, happens after that.
Yeah.
So I was like, you've got to be kidding me. How did I could not believe that was going to happen. Right.
Wow.
So I, shimmied on over to Michael's and grabbed a whole bunch of pretty boxes, and I made all sorts of stuff for each girl. And I wrote a handwritten note, and I shipped it overnight. I still have the picture on my desk of me at Staples shipping everything. And 6 weeks later, I was in my house. It was like 2 days before Halloween, and I looked like hell. And I just picked up like a chicken cutlet grinder from somewhere. And my mom friend was over, and we were just about to get the kids off the bus. And my phone kept beeping and beeping and beeping. I'm like, ugh, who's trying to call me? And when I opened my phone, I had 36 text messages within 30 seconds. And I just thought it was like one or
No.
two. And I'm looking and it's everybody. Brenda, you got to go online. Brenda, go on YouTube. Go here, go here. Kylie Jenner just made a video about you. And
No.
so my friend who's sitting there had no idea what I was reading. And I threw my phone across the room and I screamed like something was wrong, like
Yeah, like,
physically wrong.
oh
So
my
she
gosh.
thought that something happened to like my kid or whatever.
Yeah.
And, flash forward, maybe 20 minutes later, we find out that she made this whole video about what's in my travel bag. And she showcased our Honey Kiss lip balm and our whipped lip scrub and said that she always goes the natural route and she loves the honey and grapefruit lip balm because it keeps her
Mm.
lips hydrated. And she's like, I also love this from this company. I love the whipped lip scrub. So we had two products and we were on with a couple other people that she had like in her bag. And right after that, the magazine places were calling me. People were trying to find out about me, who
Oh,
I was,
cool.
writing about us in every single
Yes.
magazine. We were on e-news. I'm like, what? And then this was
Yeah.
crazy. So like the next day, I'm in my house. I just got back from the bus stop and I'm looking at my husband was home. He's like, Brenda, there's these weird vans at the end of the driveway. And I'm like,
No.
what is it? Oh my God, it was NBC Connecticut, the news station, and Fox
No.
News. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Did something happen? Is there news? And all of a sudden we hear a knock at the door and they're like, hi, is this where Brenda Mierzejewski lives? I'm like, oh shit.
What? No. Oh
So
my
I'm like,
gosh.
I'm not even dressed. They had to come in my house and I rescheduled. I said, you got to reschedule. I don't look the part. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And my husband's like, you could do this. You get upstairs, you throw that lip balm on.
Yeah.
I will clean up this area and we're doing this right now. So I got interviewed by
Poor
all the
good
news
husband.
stations. Oh my God, it was crazy. And that has lasted since then. So to this day, I still go on
Wow.
the news.
Mhm.
I still talk about clean beauty,
Mhm.
clean lip care. I make product on TV with some of these people.
Oh,
And
fun.
it's just wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. And, you know, it's just been quite the roller coaster since then.
Oh,
My
I
gosh.
bet.
Like your story, I always say people remember stories. They
Yeah.
do. And your story, and it was so interesting. When we first started this podcast, before we were even recording, I felt a connection with her immediately. You
She's good at
have this
that.
energy, and as you know, it's so interesting. People always want to know, like for me, same thing, like with my brand and what I've done. I never set limits, and I never thought. I remember I used to have a board. You probably did this, and I'd say, "Oh, if I get in here,
Yes.
oh, when I get into Target, oh, when I get into
Yes.
Home Goods," and I did this thing, and then I remember one day, and I'm sure you felt this, like when you, like for me, as a designer, when I knew that my designs were literally around the world, and I knew my story was important to share. I appreciate you doing that because so many people think, I can't do that. That's a silly idea. What are you thinking? And
Right.
I think your love and your passion for what you've done, I can see it fuels you. And that makes people want to support you. Like for me, I'm like, I love that there are people that are not, you got to be fearless. You know,
Yeah.
what if it didn't work? Well, what if it
Right.
does? And I can see that in you.
Right.
And I have to ask, how is your son?
He's doing good. He's 13. He still has, so they fixed everything. However, he still has, it's called like a leak in one of his, I guess like one of the areas of his heart. And if it doesn't close up by the time he's like 18, they'll have to close that, but that's it. It's not like anything major. He is a amazing soccer player,
Oh, cool.
amazing baseball player. He has, we have like a 6 pack of abs. He has like a 12 pack. I'm like, where do you
Yeah.
get this from?
Like, what?
But he's a very healthy, handsome, smart little boy. And,
Mhm.
it's it's great that, he's come so far, and so have we,
Yeah.
with all of this. So I appreciate you asking about him. That's
Well,
where it all
it's just
began,
I was literally about ready to cry. I'm like, I need to know, but like, and what he did is he actually inspired you to change
Yeah.
really the industry.
Right.
Like, I know a lot of people. I know when Bree originally told me about your company on you, I'm like, I need to figure this out because it really does speak um, to me because one, I felt like your the reason behind it was so authentic and real and needed because we're consuming these things every day
Yes.
and these,
Yep.
putting lipstick on and I really appreciate that you started in your kitchen, like you
Yeah.
said, and doing these things. So where are you at now? Tell us where you're at.
So talk about, I mean, it's crazy. So right now, 10 years later, um, well, 10 years ago, our business was really wrapped around our hero brand, which we called Lip Luxe, which is all the cute little lip balms that you see. It's like a little gift for your lips in a box and a bow. We have lip scrubs, lip masks, all sorts of amazing, clean, cell regenerating, hydrating lip care that is in so many different boutiques around basically the United States and Canada right now. And we're just about to start exporting all over the world.
Very cool.
But that would be maybe only 20% of our business. So 80% of our business is is with the medical professionals. So because
Oh,
I'm a chemist, I formulate products, and we are in the business of aftercare, and we work very closely in the medical spa industry. So we work with a lot of nurse injectors and dermatologists. That is like 80% of our business. And we are considered one of the number one aftercare programs in the world at this point. So we make products that are chemical free that you would use on a patient with a lip injection, a patient with any type of lip filler or, fillers for the face, Sculptra, post laser,
oh my
and
goodness.
micro needling. So we work with so many different spas around the world right now, and that's what we do. We do formulations for them, and it's basically all tiered around aftercare.
Okay, now I have
So to
like
say
so
that
many more
we've
questions. Yeah.
so to say that we've changed, like we still do all of our fun, wonderful things with our Lip Luxe brand. We have a lot of wonderful boutiques, and our med spas also sell it too. It's just so cute, and it comes in a little pot. We do a lot of different lip glosses. So we have like that wonderful array of seasonal different lip care products that you can use throughout the year. And it's a lot of fun, and you can feel good about what you're putting on your lips because it's, superior hydration, super healthy for you. You don't have to worry about something not metabolizing on your body. It's safe for children, it's safe for everybody, and it looks beautiful. And you have this absolutely beautiful gloss. Your lips are healthy. There's not a chapped lip in sight.
Yeah.
But over the course of the last 7 years, we really kind of pivoted to really help some of the issues that we were seeing within our medical spas and really help them, um, you know, solve a problem that they were having with their patients and not being able to provide aftercare to their patients. And we kind of filled that link. So that is the bulk of our business today.
So what? Okay, two things. First of all, I love that gift to your lips and how your
Yes,
packaging is like a
Mhm.
little gift box.
sure
That's
thing.
cool. The package designer in me
Yeah.
is just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I love that so much. Okay, secondly, now I am like so intrigued because I had no idea that 80% of you existed.
Yes.
And now I'm like, okay, hold
Yeah.
up, let's start
Yeah.
over. I want to talk about this now.
Yeah.
So, okay, when you're saying aftercare, like what kind of products are you formulating for these spas?
So, for instance, we have one of our hero products is our acute care kit for post lip injection, and there's two parts with it. There is a concentrate pen and a little lip balm, and it's for only 2 weeks, post procedure. And so during the lip injection, there's a lot of trauma happening to the lips, and you could have about 40 to 50, little micro injections from that needle, and your lip is traumatized, right? So, and, obviously it all depends on your injector too and what product they're using. But what
Yeah.
Mizzi does is the products that we have contain ingredients, some proprietary ingredients, and ingredients such as arnica and different other ingredients like astragalus root that really help with wound care and
Okay.
help with cell regeneration, wound care, anti-inflammation, and one of the biggest things, anti-bruising.
Mm.
So when you're having a
Need
lot of
that.
these treatments done, you're bruised, you're red,
Mhm.
it's painful, and you need to heal faster. And we are helping everybody heal 50% faster than anything else just by going home and using any crap that's on the shelf. So it is, and we kind of encompass that in all of our aftercare. So a lot of our aftercare does contain a proprietary arnica that we formulate. We make our own hyaluronic acid here in our lab. It's my formula that we have made here, so
Very cool.
I can control the levels of hydration based on how much I'm putting in there and what type I'm using. Um, but each product is geared towards what happens to the patient after, what kind of
Mm.
trauma is happening to the patient's face, neck, lips, even the stomach, the buttocks, like wherever they're getting these procedures done, even something like M sculpt or
Yeah.
M face, even though that those are non-surgical or
Mhm.
anything like that. Like there's nothing happening. It's not, there's no trauma happening to the skin. There could be
Yeah.
redness or swelling. And we have products for that that just really help the patient go home and say, oh my God, number one, my provider is taking care of me. I'm going to
Mhm.
go home and make sure that this experience is a good one. They want their patients to go home and make sure that their experience is a good one. They'll come back and do it again, and that their patient heals faster, that their patient is comfortable, right? And that they just heal faster. It's so important, and you're protecting your patient's investment. So
Definitely.
if they were to go home and have all this stuff happen to them, you're helping them prolong their results
Yeah,
basically.
definitely.
And
Because you
we're not trying to take over anybody's skincare regimen. That's not who we
right.
are.
It's just that
We are the middle part. So you get your lips done, you go home with Mitzi, and 2 weeks later, you continue with whatever you were doing. And a lot of the times the patients will actually end up being recommended to use our Lip Luxe products.
Mhm.
And we have other, medical grade products that our providers will sell to them too, to upkeep, their lips from ever, really deflating and looking plump and healthy and not getting chapped. So lots of
That's
That's
stuff.
amazing.
incredible.
Oh my
I didn't know
gosh.
those things were available.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. And you know what? There's still so many. We haven't touched every single medical spa or every single nurse
Yeah.
injector. So when I do, interviews like this, it's so helpful to our business to get the word out there,
Mm.
because
For
people are
real.
looking for things that they don't know that they need, or maybe they don't know like where to go. So it's so
Yeah.
helpful and so supportive. So I thank you guys for that.
So
Of
I had a
course.
CO2 laser, what, about 15 months ago.
Yeah.
And I will say, because I've done, you know, I didn't know what to expect, and I did a very aggressive one. And I will tell you, I wish I would have known, because I wasn't really offered anything. I was told one thing to use, which was great. But then I was 4 weeks out and had to go on TV in the UK, and my face was it
Oh
was
yeah.
awful. I can't even tell you. And so I'm telling you, like, we have to help you, like,
Yes.
get the word out there, because, like, for
Yep.
me. I was like, what is going on? I did not recover. I mean, well, like I thought, oh, 4 weeks
Right.
later, I'm gonna be ready for
I'm
TV. I
good.
was not.
No.
No, and a lot of people don't know, like,
Yeah.
they just think, when they see it, like patients, for example, when they see like that there's these services, sometimes they really don't know what to expect. And, in order for me to formulate and kind of understand what our providers are servicing to these patients,
Hmm.
I would go and get the procedure done because I want to know what it feels like, what am I
Mm,
trying to combat, and what is going to work. And I know I'm
Yes.
only one person, but I'm trying to make a product that's going to really help the bulk of everybody and keep it for, like, sensitive skin for everyone, but something that's powerful enough that's
Yes.
going to work and help you have that comfort and help you heal faster and not feel that pain. But girl, that laser, oh my God, when I had my first laser treatment, I went to one of my nurse injectors and I had it done, and I had my kit with me. She had our kit, and it was kind of there's different levels of laser.
Oh
So I
yeah.
had kind of a deeper laser, and I was like, oh my God, my face feels like someone's lighting a match on it.
oh,
And all you want to do is have like something cool on there or something
Yes.
sprayed on there or something. And I
mm,
was like clenching the table or, the seat that I was on.
Mhm.
And so it was super helpful to have my product there because I understood what needed to happen and how quickly and how
mm,
much product do you have to use, and how long is it going to last for. So these kits that we have last for only a specific amount of time
Mhm.
based on the procedure. So it's really interesting and cool, and right now we're heading up that aftercare industry, and it is
I
awesome.
love
It's an
that.
awesome feeling.
And I think that's so smart too because like I don't want to buy something that I'm going to have so much extra of
Yeah.
that I have no use for. So
Right.
knowing exactly, within a reasonable guesstimate
Mhm.
how much you're going to need to use and how
Right.
long is so good, so smart.
Right. Right.
As someone
Yeah.
who does like microneedling twice a year, sometimes 3 times a year, I am your I'm your customer.
Yeah, you're the
I will be
customer.
honest, I have never ever in all of my times going, I've never been out there post care stuff.
That's
I've had to go
crazy.
home and Google and try to figure it out myself.
That is
It, it
insane.
is it is a very needed thing because I will tell you, like, it's like I needed to recover. I needed to,
Yeah.
you know, she
Right.
is providing something that's
So
really
smart.
needed. It's really needed. And so we need more. So do the estheticians, are they the ones that are able to buy your products? Who can buy your products?
Yeah, so it's for medical professionals only. So as long as you are a medical professional in that industry, basically, it's not provided to like a spa esthetician where they're doing just like facials.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is more for like the nurse practitioner or
Hmm.
a registered nurse doctor that is doing these particular
Oh, yeah.
medical services. We do have a lot of other products that service the spa industry only.
Okay.
We have a lot of different aftercare for facials and different things to use within a spa room for different
Okay.
regular facials that you see, even like dermaplane and
Mhm.
hydrofacial. We have a lot of stuff for that
Mhm.
as well. A lot of people end up doing like lip treatments at the end of a facial, and like that's us like doing the lip treatments. But as far as medical professionals, there's a way to go about it. You would go to our website, and you would inquire within, and we would give you a special code to go on so that you can buy. But we do want to verify that you are a medical
Yeah.
professional. Hmm.
Yeah,
That's
Utah's pretty different, and like we were just saying, where
yes.
master estheticians can do laser.
Yes.
Most other states,
But in
yeah,
California and yeah.
yeah.
So
Yep.
Utah is a little bit different that way.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's why I
Right.
was wow. I just love that. And we were talking about how like the industry and just not not the industry, but the world has changed, and now we're a lot more open. Like, oh, you get Botox? Oh, I get Botox. Oh,
Right.
I've never done lip fillers, but Bree has. And so when you said that, I was like, well, you need to do something after you do lip fillers. I didn't know that. So the
Yeah.
education is key, but also your recovery as someone who does, a chemical foot fill once a year. I I'm so glad to know that I can tell my medical provider and say, hey, I need this.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Right.
have this because your
Right.
post care can be mental. When you look like a monster or
Oh
your
man.
face is burning,
Oh my
you
gosh,
just
I
want
know.
to feel like, am I going to heal?
My lips,
Right.
they
And
What am
swell.
I? What
They
am I?
there's not
swell.
a lot of over the counter products that you can
No.
use for that, because it's, if your face, like as far as microneedling is concerned, you got to be careful what you put on your face, because it's like an open wound.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same with the lip, the lip injection. Those are like 50, those are like 50 micro wounds on your lips,
Mhm.
and you want to keep those areas clean. You want something that's like kind of antiseptic, antimicrobial as well. And that's
Mhm.
what we try to, like, all of this is all kind of incorporated. And they're really beautiful products. And we're so confident in what we have that when a new spa reaches out to us, we are sending, here, go ahead, try 5 kits, try, this many kits. How many people are in your practice? Okay, you have 6 nurse injectors, let me give you this many. Go ahead and try it, you're going to love it, and we will be here when you're ready to get this into your practice.
That we that she is
Yeah.
represented because I will tell you, at the age of 55, I've
Mhm.
never, in all the years I do things, I've never been offered post care stuff other
Yeah.
than, you know,
No.
Same. I'm just always
yeah,
told like ice for
yeah,
the.
true. So
Yep.
I,
Well, I feel like the providers, maybe they don't think about aftercare, but it should never be an afterthought. When that patient
ooh,
is calling you 2 days later, oh my
that's
God, my
me.
face is burning, you should have some sort of protocol,
Yeah.
especially when there's things like that that are so invasive. And, we've been doing really great with getting the word out. I mean, there's we there's so many injectors, in the United States, and I want to say that the very very top injectors, they're all using it, so they're helping us spread the word, because
Great.
they're using it, they believe it, and they're talking about it. It's being used in educational courses right now,
Wonderful.
and the beauty of some of the things that we do as well is we private label. So if you want it to be just for your company, we have an entire commercial print shop here at Mizzi,
Oh, cool.
and we work with designers and we do private labels so that it can match your brand, so that you're,
Mhm. That's
when you're in the room and doing whatever, it matches your whole brand. And we think that that's really important, and a lot of people start off with Mitzi,
mhm.
and then they end up private labeling because they just want everything to kind of
Be
mingle
cohesive.
within.
And
Yeah, absolutely,
And a lot of
absolutely.
plastic surgeons have their own lines of,
Yes,
when you, so
That makes sense.
this is so good to know because I think
yes,
it's so important because I have been that girl, Brenda, that was like a day or two after, and I'm like Googling and saying, what can I do?
Yeah.
yeah,
I feel like, I need something. My face is so dry or
yep,
whatever it is. And so I commend you for what you're doing because you changed it. You've
yeah.
changed because people always want to do things. A little story. So I would love to know your thing on this, though. I wasn't going to share this, but I did some kind of, it was just like, I don't want to say Botox, but some kind of thing about a year ago. And after I did it, I had to travel. Remember, I had TB.
Hmm.
And I remember like a day later, I contacted Bree and I said, Bree, my face has rashes. I've
It was
never
like hives or something.
hives. And so I want you to know that, like, I don't think people sometimes, and the provider I went to was like, I don't know, you know,
Yeah,
I was miserable for 2 weeks. And so I appreciate that you're educating people because some people go, oh, I go get, Botox or whatever. I never had any kind of reaction like that. But when your face, I literally was swollen and it was really
Yeah.
traumatic for me. And everybody just said, well, I didn't do anything. I don't know. Can't help you. And
Right.
I was putting cold washcloths on my face. I'm over in the UK. I'm crying. I had to, go on TV and try to like hide my face. But I remember thinking, why isn't there anything that
Right.
available anywhere, you know? And
Yep.
so I appreciate that you're doing this. You've helped me to educate even more people too. So
Yeah.
like what's available.
I think even more like it's wonderful that the providers are being educated and
Yeah.
taught it, but I think the more we can educate the
Yeah,
consumers
your
and get them
experience.
asking for
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Absolutely, because a lot of people are, a lot of these consumers want to do all these things, but they're scared. So if they have more information, not just about the procedure itself, how it feels, what it takes to prep, like whether or not you should be on ibuprofen 24 hours before, right? Like those are some
Mhm.
stipulations based on lip injections and fillers and whatnot, because they don't want your blood to be too thin or else you're going to bleed too much. Taking arnica 5 days before, like those type of things. But there's never any talk about, well, what do I do after? You're not going to
Yeah.
go home with an ice pack. That's not the answer anymore. Ice packs are not
Mhm.
the answer anymore. You need, instead of putting ice on your face, you actually need the blood to be going to those areas that were traumatized so that it can start regenerating. So, what
Mm.
else can you do to keep it cool, and not inflamed and not swollen and just kind of calm everything down? And an ice pack is not the answer anymore. Not the
Well,
answer for anything
here's the
anymore.
thing. Brenda's done it. Like that speaks volumes to me that you're like, hey, I'm going to be the guinea pig. I'm going to
Yeah.
go have this procedure because I felt like my face was on fire. And then you're changing the way the recovery experience is because after I had my CO2 laser, I actually was like, I don't know if I'd ever do that again because
Yeah.
I was not, but now because of Brenda, I it's gonna it will I
You've
will
opened
feel
your
more
mouth up.
confident to say, hey, because the procedure was painful. It wasn't a fun experience. My aftercare was, yeah,
Yes.
next level.
Yep.
I did a
Yep.
video and it went viral. I
Oh
was
my
like
God.
4 million or 5 million TikTok.
Oh
Don't
my
stop till
gosh.
you see it. Um,
How long ago was this?
It's about
um,
15 months ago.
about 15 months ago. And I was new to
Wow.
TikTok because
Okay.
I was like, oh, I'm a designer. I'm not gonna. And so I decided to be authentic and share my beauty journey
Right.
as I'm getting older. And
It went
and my phone, and I was like, what is going on?
Oh
And
my gosh.
it was
it
crazy.
was
So
so
now I have tried to. It kind of changed my my pivot and change. I was like, people want to know about beauty from me. Okay,
Right.
what
That's
Teresa,
great
what do
though.
you
You
do?
never know what doors you're going to open when you
Yeah,
share a personal story. Do you know what I
what
mean? When you share
challenges?
something
I'll
personal, and
share.
you're sharing it too because you're trying to give information like, hey, this is what happened to me. Make sure you're prepared, because
Yeah.
you weren't prepared for the aftermath of it. And
so I
that's a
wasn't
big deal.
Yeah, so part of us doing this and why I was excited, thank you for doing this, is because I want to let my audience know that, hey, I now have been educated.
Yes.
Don't be fearful. This is what you can do and talk to your medical provider. And so there are products available, and I cannot wait to try your product. Like,
yeah, definitely.
for
Yeah,
real.
absolutely.
Tagline though, like
Yeah.
aftercare should not be an afterthought.
Oh,
Aftercare should never be an afterthought. That just really stuck with us. And it's so simple.
yeah.
It's so
Mhm.
simple. It's just a
Yeah.
simple verse, but it packs a punch. You know what I
So
mean?
I have a question because I know we've been going on and I don't want to take too much more of your time.
Yeah.
What's a typical day for Brenda like? Yeah. 'Cause
Brenda wears a lot of hats. So I
okay.
feel like I need a hat where like I can switch, like, what I'm doing. So a typical
Yep.
day for me is, oh God, admin stuff, going in the lab, formulating something for somebody new, having interviews with different people, whether or not they want to hire me to do their formulas, talking about all the things I can do for them, helping out in production, helping out in the print shop, making sure everything is running. Like I really immerse myself in everything because I love to do it. There's days where I can't, where it's just like kind of, you know, it's just a little bit crazy and there's a lot of different meetings and whatnot. But really throughout the day, I'm very present here at Mizzi. I feel like it's very important based on some of the work environments I've been in before. Really being able to have that leadership here with my team where, you know, it's a wonderful team. It's, you know, I have such amazing women surrounding me, supporting me and support it. Like we're a team. So it's not me. There's so many women here that are wearing a lot of different hats and we are just hustling every day. Every day is a hustle. So, you know, everybody has their ups and everybody has their downs, but we're killing it right now.
I have a
And
feeling that your
we're
office, your team is very fun. That you guys
Oh,
know
it's
how to
so
have fun.
fun. It's
I can
so
tell.
fun.
I
We're
can tell.
always doing something. And what I love the days that I'm trying to do some R&D.
Mm.
And we have like all these different ideas. And today our, one of our marketing managers, Maria, she brought in some, Aperol from Italy. So I'm Sicilian. She's
Oh,
Sicilian. We got all these different cultures going on here. And I was like, oh my God, I should put this in a lip balm. This is fantastic, you know, just to have that little different Sicilian kind of kick. So when stuff like that happens and I go in the lab and I start making stuff, everybody's excited because I'm going to come out of the lab and I
mhm.
look like a Oompa Loompa because I'm only like 4'9". Okay. 4'9".
Oh gosh.
I got my lab coat on. I got
Mhm.
my hairnet on. I got my gloves on and I come running into the office with all these samples. I'm like, okay, everybody, you got to try this. So they
Yeah,
stop what they're doing and everybody
I
tries
love
it.
it.
Oh, and it's so much fun. Then I run back in the lab. Okay, you want me to add a little bit more? How about what color do you want me to make it? And like we're just kind of going back and forth. And that is where the kind of the fun is here, besides
How
the days that
fun.
we bring in a ton of food.
love
Oh,
it.
Right?
Oh
I
my
just feel
gosh.
like
I want to go there.
I
I
want
think
to
we do
be
some
there on a day
Yes.
like
breastfeeding.
that.
Oh my
It's a lot of
gosh.
fun. It's definitely a lot
I
of fun.
love
And
it.
we are located in this building that we're in. We've only been here, it'll be 2 years this July, but the building that we're in is an old silk factory. So the
Oh,
windows in here are to the ceiling. They're like,
I
I
can
don't
see
know,
it.
30 feet tall. You can see behind
Yeah,
me.
I love it.
oh, gorgeous.
And
Yeah.
it's just it's old school, feels like a farmhouse, like in a way, factory, and all the new, you know, stainless steel, and it's
Mm.
just lovely, and it's just a really nice environment to be in.
You'd never get
And
rid of me.
Yeah, right.
no, and let me tell you, the pictures that you can take in here with all the sunlight that comes in,
Oh, I
it's like the
what
natural
is that?
lighting. It's
Yeah,
wonderful,
it's beautiful.
wonderful.
Well, just thank you so much. You
Yes.
have really
Yeah,
inspired me to start thinking about my aftercare, but also like I mean, it's so much more than just the beautiful lip Lux
Agreed.
kits and stuff.
I
Like
yes.
I'm just blown away now.
I literally was like,
Yeah.
this was me this morning, after I got my makeup done. I was eating a freaking little tater tot. It got stuck on my lipstick. So I'm like licking the tater tot dust off my
Yeah.
lips, and I'm like, I'm glad my lipstick tastes good. But
Yeah.
now I'm
Yeah,
like,
yep.
Yeah.
no, no, no more
No.
eating my lipstick.
Yeah, we
No,
gotta
lip smacking is a no no, and
Yep.
it's just a no no. And just so you guys
No.
know, last little tip: a lot of things that you
Okay.
see that you do buy, they have something in it called like saccharin, which is
oh,
a carcinogenic
it is.
synthetic lab made sweetener that's in
Yeah.
like millions of different lip balms and lip products.
Yeah.
So that's also no good to ingest because
Okay.
you're tasting it. So we use just natural stevia,
Ooh.
I love
just a
that.
stevia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love
Yep.
All
that.
right.
Yeah,
That's
ladies. Thank you so much for having me on. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much. You are
Thank
quite beautiful
you.
and lovely and
Ugh,
such a success and inspiration. So
Thank
thank
you
you so
guys.
much. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.